From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning on Mornings LALATE. On a Friday morning, I have breaking details about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 today. In this recording, we go over how much you're going to get in the fourth stimulus check, this monthly stimulus check that starts the month of July. It's a lot of money, and we have all the details in this recording. Then the second half of this video, we go to fifth stimulus. That'll raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI, and then apply a benchmark that'll change your benefits for a generation. Then in the middle of this recording, we go over the big money you can get right now, thousands of dollars. And we have breaking news across the board. Economic data that impacts both fourth and fifth stimulus. It's a big morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. Let's get to it on Mornings LALATE. Doing? You made it to the weekend. Congratulations. What a day it is. How is the weather where you are? It's been June gloom all week long here in Los Angeles, but I'm loving it. So tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. In this recording, we're going to be going over that fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check, and the breaking news. Boy, there was a lot of it on Thursday. We'll be going over more of it today in this recording, and then we'll be cutting to fifth stimulus. They'll raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. And then in the middle of the recording, we'll be going over the big money that you can get right now, thousands of dollars, and you viewers have been absolutely killing it. We're getting a lot of this money. This is LALATE, your only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. I'm live on air with this show, then mornings crypto, and then noontime every day here on this channel. Then afternoons, I'm untaped with afternoons LALATE, evenings LALATE, evenings crypto, and then overnight crypto. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and pinned comment. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus check amount starting right now. It starts with the Jalopal House bill, comparing it to the Senate proposal. And let's get to the details starting right now. The Jalopal bill provides a monthly stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. That means you would get a monthly stimulus check every month for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year thereafter. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. The Senate proposal, the amount monthly is unknown, but the House amount in the bill is $1,000 per month after the first month of $2,000. And while the Senate amount is unknown, word on the street is it's this. Oh, wow. Yes, this is per person. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 a person. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400 a person. If you're in the live chat while watching the show at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote, House or Senate. But not just yet. We have to go back to one of the macroeconomic factors impacting Jalopal's bill. That is the pandemic provision. Pandemic plus 1 year on the Jalopal bill. Well, some legislators believe that the pandemic may be over by the time Jalopal's bill goes to a vote. That would mean that you would get 12 months of checks, not pandemic plus 1 year, but just 1 year. 12 months of stimulus checks is $13,000 under Jalopal's bill. So how does that compare against 6 months of this? I think you have an opinion now. So voice your opinion in the live chat or in the description of this video. Which one do you like? House or Senate? House or Senate? And tell me where you're tuning in from and what the weather is like. All right, let's go to everything else you need to know about this fourth stimulus check. Who gets it? You do. So you got the third stimulus check, you get the fourth stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Double it. If you are a household of 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, congratulations, you get the fourth stimulus check. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. There you go. The fourth stimulus check would not come out in waves. It can't because of a monthly stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not taxable because it's not income. And the fourth stimulus check has the same amount of money for everyone. Adult dependents, minor dependents, everyone. Great news with that. The fourth stimulus check, we don't know if it's taken out for child support just yet. But Legislators represent that the vote will be called by July 4th. And remember, they make the representations, not me. I'm just a reporter. That means that the fourth stimulus check would land in the month of July for the month of July, in the month of August for the month of August. And there you go. Wonderful news. And that is the start of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. But in the second half of this video, I have more breaking news and a lot of breaking news from Thursday and a lot more still forming today. I'll be going over all those details going into this weekend, the breaking news about that fourth stimulus, and it's coming up in the second half of this, coming up in just a second. But first, let me give you a preview of the second half of this recording. It's fifth stimulus, and it heats up this fall as a recon as well, with an add-on of SSI and SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA benefits being lifted up one big time under reform. That reform will also apply a new benchmark, and that benchmark is inflation, not COLA and not CPIE. It's wonderful news. And we'll be going over the breaking news this week and analyze how that number will be the highest of a generation, that benchmark in December, but will change your benefits a lifetime. Wow. All right, let's turn back to some big moolah, as Sir Lloyd would say. And that big moolah is money I want you to get right now. Boy, you've been killing it. We don't go less than an hour without a viewer getting this money. So if you got money for rent or utilities or SNAP or anything from this channel, drop in the live chat what you got, whether it's $100 or $1,000. It inspires me and inspires other viewers. Also drop in the comments as well. Let's go over the details. Get a pen and paper ready because I got a lot of money to get you throughout this video. And it's going to start in just a second. And it starts with $350 billion for you. No, not all for you. It's to share. You know, $349 for you and $1 billion for me. You know, it's just to share. All right, let's go over all the details. That $350 billion is landing in your city, counties, and states this week and next week. And it's for rent, utilities, homeowners assistance, homeowners, utilities, and new croissants. Not for croissants. So let's go over the details. How do you get that money? Get a pen and paper ready. You're going to reach out to a series of locations, and each location will have different eligibility. So if one says no, don't worry, go to the next. So one of them will say yes. They also have their own pot of money. And we're going to start with rent, which is about $5,000. Yes, $5,000, 4 to 6 months of rent approximately. So get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. You're going to reach out to City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority. The key word you're going to use is rent assistance because of COVID, rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't use the word stimulus. You also don't use the word fillet of fish. They just fillet of fish, big whopper. No. This is the rent department. What are you calling about, sir? You got to use the correct words, otherwise they have no idea what you're talking about. And that is about $5,000 for rent. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got that in the last few days. The next pot of money is wonderful, and it's SNAP. And congratulations to Lynn Glenn, herself, her mom, her son got that, and also Gail got this as well. What is SNAP? How much money can you get and where do you get it? Let's go over all the details. SNAP is wonderful. It is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to Department of Agriculture. Same eligibility almost as a stimulus check. And it's a lot of money. It's $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii. Yes. Wow, that's per year. Incredible. Why so much? Because of 2 executive orders, one from Trump that was wonderful and one from Biden that was wonderful, that raised everyone's benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. We're killing it. We are $15,000, $16,000 for SNAP, $5,000 for rent. No fillet of fish, but otherwise we're doing good. And we're only 9 minutes into this video. Oh boy. Well, guess what? I got more money for you, and it's starting right now. One viewer got $5,000 for this. Let's go over what the details is, how you get it, and when you get it. First, what is this? It's a lot of money. It is money that was paid to you due to computer error of your unemployment department. It has now been ordered to be returned back to you. Wow. The federal government has identified some states as overpaying unemployment benefits due to computer error in the last year, and then asking you to return the money back to the state, which you did. Well, the federal government said, no, that was the citizens' money to keep. And the federal government has now ordered the states to return the money back to you. Congratulations. So that money is coming back to you. How? On the bank account you have on file with the unemployment department. When? Reach out to your respective state. Every state has different routing times. All right, the next pot of money is wonderful. And we had a viewer 3 days ago jump into the overnight crypto show to tell me he got his check. And yesterday, Thursday morning, Cod dropped into the overnight crypto show and said he got his on his direct deposit. Another viewer got $2,000 for her. Let's go over those details right now. First, what is it, how you get it, when you get it, and how to track it. First, what is it? It is the money back from IRS. IRS is sending back the money you paid on your 2020 tax return for that unemployment benefits. Here's an example. Let's say your total unemployment benefits in 2020 was $9,000, of which you paid $5,000 of total taxes. $4,000 was the taxes on unemployment benefits. Well, congratulations. You are getting back a check of $4,000. Next, how? If you're like Cod and had the direct deposit set up on that 2020 tax return, it's going to that. Otherwise, it's going in the mail. So go surgically through the mail to watch for that laser thin envelope. You don't want to throw it away. Next, when? They're coming in the first 2 weeks of June. Finally, routing time. Can we track it? Yeah, 70% of the time you can. Go to irs.gov, sign in, and set up a username and password. It's all free. Put your social security number in and do a transcript search. Search for your name. It'll show your last tax return you filed, that taxes you paid on that tax return, and the refund check coming back to you. About 70% of the time it works. Congratulations. Can it get any better than that? It can. It can, with the breaking news about forced stimulus. Boy, we're going to cut back to forced stimulus check right now. And there's so much breaking news. So let's go first to what Leader Schumer said a week ago today. He confirmed not one, but three of the details which I've been reporting to for a while. Leader Schumer, the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, reported and confirmed. 1, the reconciliation process is underway. Number 2, the reconciliation process will be finished by July 4th. Number 3, the reconciliation process will not be held up by any negotiations. As to those negotiations, let me just briefly jump in that the president did have another negotiation on Wednesday. And insiders say, while this is completely off the record, there's no official statement about it, they say there was no consensus or agreement about anything. So that's good news to finish the recon. All right, so how did Chuck get to this point? Well, it's important to understand that the reconciliation has been underway for a while. The bills have been written, but Jalapal started the ball rolling over a week ago when Jalapal wrote Schumer a letter saying, call the vote. Call the recon vote. What are we waiting for? Well, that was incredible great news because Jalapal's letter was co-signed by about a dozen House Democrats who had also previously co-signed a letter to the president saying, do Jalapal's monthly stimulus checks. Wow. They had written the president weeks earlier saying, we're going to put those Jalapal monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. And now they're writing Schumer a letter saying, call the vote. And he is calling the vote. So it worked. Now, the got actually better than that. Can it get better than that? Oh, it got a lot better. It got a lot better than that. When about a week ago today, 7 Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we are going to put monthly reoccurring stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package and work with you on it. Now, work with the president on it means that they're going to write it. It's a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. Legislators do, and that's who these people are. But who are these people? Who are they to say that? Well, they are on the subcommittee that is solely and exclusively and only responsible for writing stimulus checks in the stimulus packages. Wow. And so they wrote the president saying they're going to put multiple stimulus checks in the stimulus package. They did. They wrote the first stimulus checks. They wrote the second stimulus checks. They wrote the third stimulus checks. And now they're writing the fourth stimulus checks. Wow. That is insanely good news. I think Captain Obvious is outside the window right now. That is really wonderful. Can we top that? Maybe. About this last Tuesday, the president had incredible great news, and I'm going to slow this one down because it's a little complicated, where he reached out to countries around the globe and said, I wanted you to tentatively agree upon raising the global minimum corporate tax rate. What's the global minimum corporate tax rate? It basically is a tax rate so that you'll not move your operations overseas because it won't save you that much money. Well, they said yes tentatively, which is great news to start. But here's the other rub, is that later in the day, the president reached out to his insiders and said, allegedly, that after forced stimulus becomes law, he is going to come back and get those G7 countries around the globe to sign into law that global minimum corporate tax rate of 15%. And if they do, that he's going to come back and drop our U.S. corporate tax rate back closer to where it is right now after that. Wow. multiple stimulus checks, and then a lower corporate tax rate closer to where we are right now. That is incredible great news. Can it get better than that? It does. When last Wednesday, before Memorial Day weekend, the president rejected the Republicans' counterproposal, and then Thursday, a series of Democrats, senators, not Schumer, but other Democrats, Sarah says, call the vote. And that's where we are. We are calling the vote. So it's important to understand where we are right now. We are currently underway in the reconciliation process. The reconciliation process has a lot of steps to it, and calling the vote involves a lot of steps. I'll be going over those steps in just a second. And also what else is happening with forced stimulus and the breaking news yesterday and this morning, economic data, very interesting. But first, even better news is the volunteers. If you need help finding rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, or internet, reach out to the volunteers. They're on the community page, and they are viewers just like you trying to help you. This channel launched with me getting viewers $25 million of EIDL loans approved, hand-holding them through the application process, application after application, for people who had not gotten their EIDLs approved. Then, in the fall, I continued the spirit of helping when viewers were not seeing second stimulus become law yet. So I launched Purple, which is essentially a little bit of what we're covering right here, helping people get rent and utilities. $250,000 we got viewers. But now the volunteers are doing the same effort, helping you get rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. Their spirit is the same. Viewers helping viewers. So where's the community page? Open the description of this video. Go down the description and find the volunteers page. It's an emoji of a house. Next to it is the link to the web page. It's news.lalate.com/community. Click on the link and it sends you to a web page with a picture of some kitty cats. Those aren't the volunteers. Lower below the kitty cats are the volunteers. They're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Reach out to them. They'll be able to help you get that rent, internet, and free utilities. And I will be back with you in 60 seconds with more exciting details about forced stimulus and fish stimulus. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings LALATE. The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here, and the coffee is brewing, or is that espresso or an espresso-tini? A little bit of shot to the espresso doesn't hurt anyway. Espresso-tini. How are you? It's Mornings LALATE, ready for the weekend? I bet you are. More exciting details about forced stimulus and fish stimulus coming up in this video. But first, subscribe. This is LALATE, your 24-hour day, 7 days in a week financial news channel, live in the morning and taped in the afternoons. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and pinned comment. More about membership in just a second, but let's get right to fish stimulus and the breaking news that impacts fish stimulus. Fish stimulus raises up your benefits in the fall in another reconciliation process. It provides a lot more benefits to beneficiaries, but not just temporarily, it's actually lifetime. The way it works is the following. First, they will increase your benefit limits, then remove the asset limit, remove the inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over broadly what that means, and let's go over the economic data behind it. breaking this morning. So first, they're going to raise up your benefits. Who's you? You. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, Survivor benefits, or SSA, or multiple beneficiaries, they're going to raise your benefits up one big time. Then they'll apply a new benchmark, and that benchmark is inflation, not CPIE and not COLA. That benchmark is wonderful. Let's show you how that benchmark works. Some insiders think that the inflationary rate will be 2 to 7%. Most insiders believe the inflationary rate this December will be the highest of a generation. Here's what you need to know, is that if it is that high, it'll change your benefits lifetime. This is how it works. In December, they'll raise up in the fifth stimulus, they'll raise up your benefits one time. Then in December, they're going to look at the inflation rate. And let's say it's 6%, for example. Then you'll go up plus 6%, not just next year, lifetime. Because the way the benchmark works is they raise you up and they never step you down. If the year after that the inflation rate is 0, you don't step down, you just stay the same. You either step up or stay the same. You never step down. If the year after that the inflation rate is 1%, then you're at plus 6 plus 1%. Congratulations, there you go. That is for stimulus. Out the door, signed into law probably October, November. Benefits hitting your bank account in October, November, and then the step up in January. Now, what else is important for you to know? That fifth stimulus has a lot of other things in there. There's a lot of other things in fifth stimulus, and in a 30-minute video that's currently 21 minutes, I don't have time to go over everything that's in fifth stimulus. And that's the value of membership. The membership link's at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. Every day I send out to viewers a breakdown of what's in the fifth stimulus, the fourth stimulus, and third stimulus. Because it's important to know this is your money. It's your money to get. For example, fifth stimulus has the name from the president, the American Family Plan. But there's a lot of money in there for single individuals. Single hazard pay workers get money. Single seniors get money. Yes. So that's in the fifth stimulus. It's important to see what's in the fifth stimulus and fourth stimulus, and that's a benefit of membership. The link's at the top of the chat. Now, at minimum, become a subscriber. Because why? The month of July is going to be a crowded month as third stimulus money is sent out, fourth stimulus money is sent out, and fifth stimulus will heat up. All right, let's now cut back to the fourth stimulus and the breaking news that formed this morning, yesterday, and is still forming. First, calling the vote. It's important to know that the calling the vote process is a 9-step process. And what's important is that Purple Power is back, baby. You need to take these videos and share them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Tag people with the hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. Let's go over the 9 steps required by the Constitution to get reconciliation finished. Step 1, they have to call a procedural vote in the House subcommittee. Step 2, the House floor calls a procedural vote. Step 3, the Senate calls a procedural vote. And step 4, the President signs into law the procedural vote. At that point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. The procedural part is done. Time to do the substantive part. Step 5, the House subcommittee, House Ways and Means, discussed earlier in this video, writes up the substantive bill and potentially the stimulus checks. Step 6, the House votes it on the floor for the substantive step. And then step 7 and 8 is the 2-day vote-a-rama, in which senators make amendments. If there was no multiple stimulus checks put in at the House level, the senators can put it in. If they were put in at the House level, they can modify them. And step 9, the president signs into law. It shows you how there's 9 steps to pass a reconciliation. They're required by the Constitution. They're not delineated by any party or any person. And it's important to understand that Purple Power we need to push. Why? Because we've seen over the last year where legislators actually have law and money's not sent out. Legislators have bills and the money's not sent out. And legislators make pushes but then fold like lawn chairs. So we have to always push for them. And we're going to push right now. Now, finally, it's important to understand the breaking news that came in yesterday and this morning. And it's important to understand what's definitive and what's not definitive. First, we had 2 major economic numbers released yesterday and a double whammy. They both concern unemployment. And what do they both totally say? They both totally say that this economy is zooming to a recovery, but that recovery will not be done by the time of the vote in July. So we are fine. Would it be done by the time of the vote of this stimulus in September? Maybe. First number, unemployment new claims released every Thursday. You've been with me for a year. You saw that we started the pandemic at 200,000 new jobless claims. We went into the pandemic at 200,000 new jobless claims, shooting up to 1 million. We were at 1 million for 22 weeks. Then we went to 800, 600, and where did we come in yesterday? 405,000 new unemployment claims, the lowest since pre-pandemic levels of 256. So it shows you how we are almost back to our pre-pandemic levels of 256. So that's good, but nothing to worry about for purposes of forced stimulus. The next number was a little bit more shocking. If you were with me last month, I told you that I would be concerned if there was a 1 million new jobs number released for the month of March and April. Well, we didn't have it for March, so we were good. We did have it for the month of we did not have it for the month of April, but we did have it for the month of May. The new number came in yesterday, and 1 million jobs were created. Why is it still fine for forced stimulus? Because there's 8 million jobs missing, and we only took away 1 million of the 8. And we're not going to get all 8 removed by the time of July. It's 3 months. It's 30 days away. So it shows you how I was concerned about a number, but that the month of March and April stalled, and so we are fine for purpose of forced stimulus. Next, the 10-year Treasury note is rising a little bit. I'm not worried about that for purposes of any stimulus. But finally, the most important thing that I want to go over is really what's going on with the Senate parliamentarian. Here's what you need to know, is that the Senate parliamentarian does not issue rules all the time. Sometimes just issues advisories, which is basically guidance. It's not a definitive yes or no about anything, because the yes or no is not until it's actually presented. Here's what you also need to know, is that there's certain things that are sort of more black and white, and there's certain things that are absolutely very gray. I'm going to go over them right now. If you put in a single room 100 legal analysts and 100 political analysts, they would most likely agree that any Congress has a new reconciliation every congressional term, one in the spring and one in the fall. There's 2 congressional terms per year for the Senate, one in the spring and one in the fall. So you get a new one in the spring and the new one in the fall. Most would also agree that if you don't use one, you can save it for the next term. The Trump administration, Mitch McConnell did that for the Trump administration, year 1. Mitch did that last year. Last year, the Democrats had a recon last fall. They didn't use it. They saved it because the president was coming into office. So those are 2 more black and white scenarios. The third one is very gray. What happens when you do a recon? Can you redo that recon without using it up? Basically, redo it again, and basically not use up a recon by doing it. Well, that was what became the big issue discussed on this channel several months ago. Chuck Schumer did the following before that. Let's recap. When third stimulus went to a vote in the spring, third stimulus was done with the recon used from last year that had been saved up, represents Chuck Schumer and the Democrats. So that means that going into third stimulus, they used a prior recon from fall of 2020 to pass third stimulus, still leaving them a new recon for the spring of this year and still a new recon for fall of this year. Pretty simple, pretty simple. So what did Chuck Schumer do? He went to the Senate parliamentarian with the other Democrats, all of them, including Bernie Sanders and all the major Democrats. And they asked whether they could redo the third stimulus's recon ticket. And the parliamentarian said yes. Well, yes, on Wednesday, the parliamentarian came back with guidance and simply suggested that perhaps you can't do a redo. And that's basically where we're left at. Since then, a series of print news media have really sort of tried to associate words with the parliamentarian that the parliamentarian did not say, try to extend the narrative a little bit farther than what it is. What's important for you to know is that we clearly have at least 2 recons left in our pocket at the moment to pass for stimulus next month. We clearly have 2 recons in our back pocket to pass 4th and 5th stimulus this year. The question is whether we have 3 recons. I never understood why, personally, Chuck Schumer needed 3 recons to pass 2 stimulus packages this year. Now, I know that there certainly is going to be a 7th stimulus package next spring. But at one point, how many recons do you need to save up? It's like, are you continually just saving up recons just for the purpose of saving them up? So for purpose of 4th stimulus, you're fine. As a purpose of 5th stimulus, you're fine. As to where this discussion is going to go, I think you're going to see a lot of chatter on the fringes of the subject. And I'm not going to say too much on it because, as you see, it's complicated. It's complicated. But for purposes of force stimulus, you're done. So with that, thank you for joining me on a big morning's LALATE. Boy, it is a big morning, and we have a lot more news coming up throughout today. So join me next on Noontime LALATE, then followed by Afternoons LALATE, and then Evenings and Evenings Crypto. Subscribe, 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the channel, pinned comment. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning, and stay